I will call to order the September CAPS meeting at 6:01 p.m.
Chris, do you mind closing the door and way back?
Gigi, roll call please.
Andy Vaughn,
Here.
Stephanie Coughlin here, Sherry Smith here, Mike McKenzie here, Chris Nunez,
Hello.
Artist Levelitz here, and Councilmember Neil Shaw.
Yep. Okay, does everybody have a copy of the agenda and does anyone have any feedback on it? Any additions they'd like to? Then I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda as printed.
Have a motion to approve the agenda. Seconded.
Approved. All right, so I'm moving too fast.
You want to move it?
Hey, we started a minute late, got catching up to do. Budget report, I know it's in. We're not there yet. If we have anybody online, public comments? In the room, Ken, did you want to say anything on the record or? Okay. No public comment then, so we will move on to staff updates. What are you now? I mean, I gave you 10 more seconds. Still don't have it ready.
Budget report, I did send it out in the email yesterday, but I just wanted to know if anybody had any questions before we jump into other. So bear with me here, because not only do I have to open it, but I need to share it so that it's part of the video. Okay. So right now, your larger budget. We're at 37.9, so almost 38, and then your discretionary is right at 4, and I think half of your needle belting accidentally got coded to that account, so the one up above. I mean, it's kind of here nor there, but I usually like to keep it in the bigger one up above. But other than that, that's where you are.
And then just a reminder, we typically pay about $2,500 a year for the two pieces. So if we do nothing else with about 5K, it's.
Yeah, so if we did that. Oh, this one's, yeah.
But we're not doing a good job justifying our budget.
Oh.
I mean, most of that is an acquisition that we just had a hard time getting started on. Okay.
Okay. Next on my list is the. Get the share here. Budget realignment. Okay. Okay, we got it. Hold please.
We'll probably be interested in your kind of opinion on the budget stuff as well as we. Okay.
I apologize, guys. Hang on a second.
While Gigi is looking for that, just, looking at the budget that we published. We had put 23K in for acquisition We've got 10K in media, of which we've now spent about 3. Got 5K for neighborhood grants, of which we've spent the order of $1,000 of. We had $2,000 for music events, which was largely unspent. The ones that Seuss did do were basically free. Several got canceled. Through. Pairings though, you guys did a great job on meeting our budget. That's where a lot of the extra comes from.
Okay, this came up at council dinner, but it's been something that's come up quite a bit about how and why we're not eligible for SCFD funding. And there's a whole lot of, when you go in at first on the surface, it looks like we're fine because we're government and there's eligibility, but there's so many bullets under those lists, and then you have to really understand them, deeply in order to sort of even potentially go there. And one of many eligibility points is how things are paid for. And historically, these two budgets lines have been caps. And this cultural arts and events, it's a CIP, which is capital improvement project, right? P project. That budget line is typically intended for permanent structures, parks, things that long-term or permanent. The fact that we've been doing events and programs out of that, it's not ideal, it's not horribly wrong, but it's not ideal. But in the world of SCFD, it definitely is a red mark because they do not fund capital. So if we tried to apply and we said, hey, we've been doing all these great programs, all these events, all these workshops, once you're in there, they want to know how it was paid for, how many people attended, there's all these facts that they need to know. And if it shows in our records that it came out of a CIP budget, that would immediately deem us ineligible. So I think that's why you had that on your agenda for that council dinner. Your other, what we've been calling discretionary fund of $5,000 is a general fund budget line. All of the advisory committees have the 5,000. That's where all of the rest of the advisory committees, that's where their events and programming comes from. And then if they have any big projects, obviously they're very, very different from yours, OSAC or park or any of those, or even historic, the funds are in other places and gained, recommended, whatever, approved in a different way. So that's where things are now, per the desire to become SCFD eligible. The quickest and easiest way to do that was just to simply rename the $70,000 budget from cultural arts and events to public art acquisition. Because really, if you think about it, public art and murals are long-term or permanent. So those purchases fall perfectly in line with what the IP is intended for. And then your programming, your workshops and your other stuff can come out of that 5,000. That said, think about, I think I was sort of thinking ahead, like what questions you might have. I know that as part of installing new public artworks, we've been hiring videographer. In my mind, that's part of the acquisition, so that would come out of that budget. Things like that. I think as CAPS potentially adjust to this new kind of way of divvying up the funds, there always is you know, the budget that I use for public art maintenance. And like the exhibit programming and things like that, and that could be a base, you know, cushion. Just as things roll along.
Where would sponsorships come?
Sponsorship.
Like the
Oh, the
neighborhood
neighborhood
sponsor, yeah.
sponsorship, that would probably have to come out of the 5,000.
Okay.
But one thing I was thinking about is you could revamp the program.
Right,
So, and think about, you know, like that experience level,
right,
or, you know, like, I think some of the projects, you know, that second and third layer,
right,
those were kind of more project
They
and
were,
art and,
yeah,
you know, so I think if that is potentially revamped, it could come out of the public art acquisition.
okay,
But I think as it's worded right now, I think block parties no, but.
Okay.
So anyway, that's sort of, you know, we can see how this works next year, and if it doesn't work, we go back to the drawing board. You know, we go back and rethink and think about how, but moving CIP money to general fund is a much harder task than simply renaming a current budget line. That's why we went with that route.
And SCFD has approved that as being a qualifier?
It would, in general, just based on my knowledge of SCFD. I mean, they don't fund capital.
I know, but the lawyer in me worries that simply relabeling an account and not changing the control mechanisms on the account is gonna be a disqualifier.
I mean, it could be, but a lot of what you would be getting funding for is your workshops, your programs, and your events. That's gonna be the biggest and most ideal mechanism for applying in. So they're not gonna award us money because we buy public art, they're gonna award money based on programming.
But there's
And-
no longer a budget for programming. So you.
It's this one, this is it right here.
that's enough for programming.
And there's no way to move the 6989 to 3222.
The what?
The CIP budget line into the arts general fund budget,
Oh, this
down into the 50 to make it
into
140.
that, I mean,
Cause the general fund budget seems like it would qualify for a CFD.
this is general fund though. This 5,000 is general fund. I see what you're saying, but I think, I mean, I think we left it there because public art is capital improvement. I mean, they're projects that are long-term or permanent.
Yeah, it just seems like when I looked into it, capital improvement was a no-go for a CFD, just as a whole. And they know what public art acquisition is.
Right,
Right.
but we wouldn't be we wouldn't be applying based on our public art. We'd be
Saying that
applying.
just goes away out of their visibility.
We would be
So,
applying
committee with
for them
$5,000.
to fund us money for events programming, is what she's saying.
Right,
Not
and
the
then,
public art, yeah.
and the other part too, is the other half of this is historical commission and the museums and the historic sites. So the application would be both arts and history based. So they also have a $5,000 programming budget. And so basically taking the museum days, visitation to museums, their fall and spring program, their tour to the industrial mine.
So what we get from SCFD, is that not dependent upon the total budget that the arts program is managing? Like if
They would look at the
I
arts,
saw
and-
the 5K,
that they would look at that one, and then they would look at the one I'm programming out of.
okay,
And then they wouldn't be looking at CIP because
right.
that's just a whole, we're just trying to completely separate that out now.
No, I understand that. So then if they're only seeing 55K of budget,
Uh-huh.
does whatever they're granting us depend upon whatever that 50, if it's 55K or
I gotcha.
155K?
Based on what we are
What we're
what
budgeting?
we're
Program.
contributing or
Yeah.
what the town is contributing.
Yeah,
I think that would be a good question, and that would be, you know, something that if that's true, which. I mean, we gotta factor in, the historic side too. Historic, their budget, and then we also have a historic preservation budget of 35,000.
Why do we have to factor that in?
Because that's the other part of this, is that volunteer groups applying for SCFD without any parental department,
Right,
it's sort of,
right,
it just seems kind of weird.
Right.
That's why I created Arts and History,
okay,
was to sort of ground
okay.
CAPS and historic.
So it's like the parent.
The parent, yeah, but it also demonstrates commitment and contribution by the town.
Right. Okay,
I mean, even though there's budget contribution by the town for these two advisory committee, it was important that I established a budget
right,
for arts and history.
Yeah.
To sort of have that that more momentum, so that that we can demonstrate that we're doing more, even more than the two advisory committees,
Right.
but collectively, all three are sort of becoming this well-oiled machine of offering programs, you know, to our residents.
and don't most of their grants, it's for community engagement type of things, right?
Right, that's why we thought the quickest, easiest way to do this is just to separate public art acquisition from programming.
Yeah.
And
We have to
like I
figure out
said, just
community
see how it,
engagement programming.
see how it works, and then whatever tweaks we need or think we need to make, we can make them.
Do we have any community engagement programming for next year?
Cats,
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of your work plan.
Right? Do we schedule, like,
There were budget meetings and work sessions and stuff on this. Any thoughts on how this went?
Yeah, I mean, like with every budget, it's hard to find the things to cut, to prioritize the things we want to continue. And I am really afraid that there might be a focus on cutting cap. But, honestly, there was almost a non-dialogue about the cap budget, which is kind of refreshing. The only thing was how we labeled exactly what JG just went through. We spent a little bit of time on that. Even though, both myself and JG had shared it with the rest of the staff, didn't get caught in this budget, because 9 months ago, and even to go back to Sandy, we wanted to be as eligible as possible for the SCFD money. And unfortunately, the first round of the budget didn't have the rebranding, which, I mean,
And it's been changed now.
yeah, but the
Yeah.
first round
Right.
didn't have any of this.
Yeah,
Now it is, that's what the board's gonna approve on the 13th of October. And, now that we've had a CAPS committee for 5-6 years, we should be able to go get someone else's money, and start trying to.
I think too, that is small as that seems, that was a really big move. It really was, and I think but there are some other things that we need to look into before we attempt to apply for that eligibility. So the way SCFD works is you first have to apply just for eligibility. Then if you make it over that hurdle, then you can apply for funding. So if we apply for eligibility next year, and I think it's next fall, so that buys us some time to clean up any other non-eligible bullet points and get that eligibility in, and it's a lot of work, because it's a lot of digging. It's basically like grant reporting for that eligibility application. But then once that happens, then I think it's the following year that we can apply for funds.
Doesn't it require years of history?
Or more.
We don't have out of the proper budget.
Yeah.
We started.
We have a history of community engagement, though, years of history of that.
Yeah.
We have a lot of that.
And it could be that finance might be able to help separate some of that out. I'm not sure, because I think that was originally their plan, I never understood it, so we could talk to them. I mean, I hate to wait another couple of years, so
Yeah.
we'll see how that.
Yeah, I say we just pursue it and town tell us no. But as far as the rest of the budget goes, I mean, everything you laid out of the caps, everything that the caps laid out at the dinner. That kind of 70,000. There's just an open question of what we all want to do for Sundance. It's just sort of like I don't know.
Is there any interest in the town forming like a Sundance committee or?
Yes, so I
Is
think
that
that
a
work
task
session
force?
last week, work session last week, the week before, so there's like a subcommittee task force, call it whatever you want. Heather's pretty plugged in, just by virtue of her role in Boulder. And I, Jen, but beyond that, I think it's anybody who wants to try to help figure out what we should do for Sundance as well, welcome.
Are advisory committee members able to be on?
Absolutely, it's not an official committee at this point, so it's just sort of ad hoc, anybody and everybody who is ready, willing, and able to help. There's a lot more questions than answers right now, so I think that's the hard part.
Do we have community engagement events for 2026 already tagged? Do we already do that?
We don't work on the work plan yet.
And, but we had discussed largely pivoting to our acquisition in 2026.
Right.
And we have,
If we do that, then we also have included community engagement stuff done too, right? You have to add that in.
it was originally, I mean, no, we have art acquisition and installation. We have the media production, we have Rainworks, digital. We have neighborhood grants, which will have to go away.
Or revamp.
Revamp it.
And we have pairings. And the photo walk, which I enjoyed and wanted to keep doing. That's all we have. We did not have any budget. And when we worked this a couple months ago for events, essentially.
So let me keep going, and then I think you guys have, I think it's later on the agenda than talk budget. The Ormond Roach sign did get moved. I think I showed you last month that it was right smack in front of the rings. And they did move it. So it's better. Just be mindful that I will be out of the office October 27th through the 31st. So Rock Creek Parkway Tunnel where the mural is going in, you're all aware that it was, very leaky before they did all the work, and all the work's been done, but there are a few leaks. And it's on schedule, I think within another week or two for a second round of just touch-up repair. But there was one spot as you're coming in, if you're coming in from the north going southbound, it's like right as you enter, you can still sort of see a wet spot. And it kind of went down and it was coming down on one of the walls, and they sort of left it because they wanted to basically let us all see that it does take away the
You were
paint.
there that rainy day, right?
Yeah.
So you know.
Yeah.
I was there on the rainy.
That was a good test for the leaks, I guess.
Yeah, and they were aware of them, but I don't think they knew the direction it was going. And so the good thing is we all have a gazillion pictures of exactly where it went, so I'll share that with them. When that work happens, they're going to basically tent off the mural so that any materials that they're using for any kind of repair or sealing will not hit the mural. That said, Hillary and Susan are still researching the type of graffiti guard they want to use, because the standard graffiti guard, like that's in the McCaslin tunnel, it's very thick and almost rubbery like. And it does, because of that surface texture, not only does it dull the brightness of the colors, it attracts dust and dirt. But a lot of mural artists use it because it really is easy to power wash off graffiti. They are a little hesitant because they just hate to lose that vibrancy of the color, and so they're researching some other things, and I said, you know what, take your time. We have a health issue that I shared with you, but B, I'd rather them wait to apply graffiti guard until after all this leak stuff is done, and we know that no one's going back down there to do any more work. And they can touch up any paint that they want and then apply the graffiti guard. So they are still working to research all of that. And then I'm gonna be putting an email out probably tomorrow. It's that time of year where I need your end of year stats. So basically, the number of your volunteer hours for the year outside of these meetings. And then any projects that you want me to highlight for both the volunteer dinner and then the state of Superior that's coming up. So the deadline's coming up, but that's I think the projects would be more for the state of Superior and the stats is more for the volunteer party. That's coming up in November, I think. I'll send out that date as well. I think that's it. Does anybody have any questions?
Is that continued leak, is that expected?
No, I hope not.
No, they found that when they were tearing it up, there's an unlocated Excel box that was under the road, it wasn't marked in any of the drawing. So they had to just kind of leave it where it was, as they redid all the repairs, and now it's, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
I know.
It's like the second thing that, there's an unmarked Excel XYZ, because underneath where the new maintenance facility is gonna be, there's another Excel line that no one knew about, that they're having to move that building.
And Excel doesn't have any,
Well, when with the power shutdown last year, the year before, they didn't know which switches to throw to prevent the wastewater treatment from, basically failing. Because they weren't sure which set of switches for the two lines coming in controlled that. So,
Let me just guess.
well,
oh, I have one other thing. The pads for the prairie dogs are finally out.
Oh my God, really?
This has been like a year and a half. I was just banging my head against the wall. But, one at Riverbend, one at, the dog park
Mhm.
down. Not the new dog park, what is that park down there?
ARTery?
ARTery, and then one at Wildflower. So those dogs will be going out soon,
Yay.
finally. I still have that list we made like 2 years ago.
Do I need to repair any? Or are they good to go?
I think they're good to go, but I
Okay.
think because they're gonna be out in the elements, we're gonna have to keep a closer eye on them.
Yeah.
Probably do annual,
Okay,
yeah,
we do that.
and then when the pools go, we're gonna have to take year 2. And the one at
Okay.
North
I gotta
Pool,
get you protect them anyways.
we're gonna have to take those and think about that. Anyway, I just wanted to let you know,
That's great.
those will be going out
I can
soon.
teach them up. I can tell.
Okay,
Yeah.
All right, moving on to journal updates and debriefs. So Marshall Fire Remembrance Subcommittee, distressingly, this is in the same spot as it was a month ago, which is we have the 2 responses to the RFQ, and we're looking to get a group together to interview those applicants and ask them some questions about their applications and just meet them and get an impression of them and stuff. So we're still trying to get all the right people in the room at the same time.
and it looks like this is the date that popped up, and I'm sending that email off tomorrow.
Okay.
So it looks like October 3rd is when we'll be.
Right, well, maybe I'll put you back on the spot, Gigi, for the QR code signage and art signage. Gigi's been making some progress there.
I think I showed the signs last month, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but you would continue to press bids, I think, and that's.
yeah, so we are going with Royal Signs, and I'm not sure why, but they haven't gotten back to, they were gonna, we were ready to get going, and then we had asked about having the town logo laser cut
Mhm.
instead of painting, and then they haven't got back to me. So I'm gonna put it on my notes. I don't know, everything else, I lost track of that. But either way, just as a reminder to everybody, these 8-inch by 24-inch signs, and if you remember, they're straight and then they have a bend. There'll be a placard that goes here that will have a description of either public art or a historic artifact or location with a QR code. And then on this part, we'll have the town logo. They'll be footed in a small piece of concrete.
Approximate cost was about 1K each before regulator cut,
Yeah,
might add something.
yeah.
And this was a potential add if we have budget, which we may, depending on how the light meeting goes, but it's a way that we can get ahead of that. The plan was to roll out 5 or something this year.
I think
but-
we might do 15, just because that price break was so great, and this is coming out of arts and history. Budget. So I think maybe by next month we'll finalize the list. of where Caps wants to put in?
Yeah, and we've been talking about the list, and honestly, it's hard to get past about 10 or 12. There's some pieces that are inside. And there's some things like, the peacock or whatever that's on the, that would be kind of harder to get a label around, so if you're looking for the big obvious ones that we own and that are accessible, getting beyond about 10 or 12 is kind of hard. But historical is part of this, so there's plenty of stuff, at Grosso Park and stuff that they're interested in, like.
Would we have two for Silencio or just one?
It's a good question, probably just one, I envision it being on the south side, like under the trees there, but. I guess we could do both.
I think you bring up a good point too, that, maybe for those really difficult ones, we come up with a different mechanism entirely, and I bet you, just maybe that whatever that bent part of the lumen is just becomes a base for the plaque and it gets screwed into like a wall or. To think about it.
Okay, so yeah, also everybody knows we got the mural going on. I have been busy and driving up to work in Boulder, so I was able to stop up and check in on them on the rainy day. They're lovely people, they were moving right along, very willing to stop and engage with the public. It's really great to see, and others of you that have been up there more recently than me, we can report on what it looks like.
Neil said most of the foxes are there.
Yeah, I was there this morning, most of the foxes, everything is framed out.
Yeah.
And I mean, 3 of the foxes are painted. The first fox doesn't have a tail, so it looks sort of like it was just crops.
I'll pass this around. I think the cool thing is the center fox that's leaping and kind of has its back arch. They went up onto the slant
Oh, did you?
with it a little bit.
Yeah, that's fun.
Cause that was one of the tougher questions for them, is the wall is straight, and don't you love how I keep using my arms for all the slants? But, it's got that weird slant, and I had asked them early on, are you gonna work that into the design, or paint it a solid color, or just leave it? And I think they decided to leave it, but have just that one fox
It's a
breaking
little
into that.
tricky.
That's what it is.
Do they have a ETA? Do you know when they want to finish?
Tomorrow mostly with final touch up Saturday. I bet you they'll only be there a half day Saturday. And I will absolutely make sure that everybody that was signed up for that
Doesn't show up.
doesn't show up.
And then, I've been coordinating with Ben there, and you said the
Mhm.
town was gonna go out, Isaac's been out, I assume, and the news was gonna be out.
Boulder.
Yeah, it was there.
Mhm. So Ben was out there today, he's gonna go back tomorrow. I think Isaac was there today and will also go back tomorrow. Yeah. And then the Boulder David Cameron, their photographer was there today, and we're gonna Zoom, she's gonna predominantly just talk on the phone with Hillary and Susan, probably just Hillary.
Great, a lot of good publicity.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on to debriefing some of the things that we did last month. 4 of us, I think, Chris, Isaac, me, and Artis were able to meet up and do a walk down in the community park area like we had talked about before. This is down near basically near the stream that goes through community park from end to end. Chris kind of led the walk with kind of highlight spots that he had already found, and I don't know, Chris, maybe you want to speak to it. I mean, my impression was that we found a bunch of really cool places where you could set up, kind of a viewing area, like just a peaceful sitting area. And there were all these places where we talked about how good the shade was, or this is a little like hillock with you could clear it out and put some benches and have a nice little toe, or here's a place where a piece of art could be elevated and be seen from not just the kind of the prairie land, but also the trail that goes behind the ball fields. There's various places that have different level of access where trails might need to be cut, or where on the other side, you could literally just make a little stub off the sidewalk and have some great access. And here,
Great recap.
And so, you know, the potential is fantastic. The implementation would require talking to Parks and Rec, Parks Committee probably, you know, there would be, I would expect some maintenance, you know, you would be signing, Vargas or somebody up to keep some kind of grassy paths trimmed. There's the
A little
flood,
overgrown, yeah.
there's the floodplain implication that we have to resolve, so. And really cool spot, really cool
Yeah.
potential, so. I think it's definitely something we should keep looking into.
It's such a community resource. It's such a just gem of a spot. That not enough people can use. Because it's just overgrown and not maintained. And after the roads went through, everything opened up and you could really just see the potential of the creek. It's really,
Caps Creek.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, there's
Caps Creek now.
There are places, you know, when they redid Coal Creek, they've got places where it goes over a little waterfall and widens into a kind of little collection pond.
Yeah.
That's true for
Caps
Caps
Creek.
Creek, Caps Creek
Yeah,
as
that's
well,
right.
but you can't ever see it unless you really get down on it, you know, so
It's beautiful.
you can
Yeah.
create a,
They really nicely landscaped
Caps Creek.
area.
Get some benches there, sponsored by.
Like,
Caps.
right?
yeah, does anybody know, is that's what? Do you know like kind of a zoning designation, that's not OSN, is it?
No, I think it's. It could be, I think it might be OSN.
In which case we would need some probably approvals from somebody, all right?
I don't think it's labeled on any of the maps, but, you're right.
I mean, you know, so the way with the budget realignment and the way we've got our budget formulated, we've got a very significant budget next year for acquisition and, you know, try to be deliberate about where and what. This would probably be a good, and my one hesitation is that the notional artery that goes from Founder's Park through downtown, kind of through the Circle Park area, through here, and then up and around to, kind of to the middle school. Would have to, well, it would cut through, across the stream, you know, on this side, but if you wanted to get in, you'd have to have a spur or just be content with the fact that that acquisition would not be on the artery, which doesn't all have to be. But that's my one hesitation, but otherwise, gorgeous spot, so we should look into next year.
Artery off that, Caps Creek.
Well, I got online and made a, like a subway map.
Yeah,
Did I share that? You
I
know,
think
with the
so.
artery was the main line, but you know, you can label little spurs, you
So
know,
it's an offline, yeah.
go out to catch the rings, because the triptych and the rings are also
Yeah.
not on the artery.
That could be fun.
You could have just a little spur.
Scavenger hunt, find these areas.
Spurs are good.
Yeah,
that artery, the concept though, it's so big. And we don't really have designated spots for art, so we didn't know really how much art it would take to fill it. To even have like a critical mass for the artery, kind of have some cohesiveness.
We need someone on the committee who thinks holistically about architect, so.
So I mean,
you just put your foot in that one.
I don't think he was supposed to be.
I was right past Chris.
Oh, awesome. There you go. Oh, yeah. That's right.
But I mean, to fill an artery line that long. You're talking dozens of pieces.
Yeah.
Which is,
It would
like,
take
from
a
a budget perspective, is hundreds of thousands of dollars potentially.
Not,
Took a decade.
we were doing those community involvement art pieces, like, you know, one time, something with the plays, totems, and, yeah, there's ways to do that.
Liza, you had talked about like breaking it into segments
Yes.
and then creating either a 5 or 10-year plan to
Yeah.
slowly.
Yeah.
And they don't have to be, wouldn't have to be in order, I
Right.
forget what you said, but.
So
That's
it's like
a great
making
idea.
sections and then
Yeah.
start like 3 pieces here. so
Getting
you
it
can kind of
going.
connect those dots and then
Yep.
3 pieces along here. And then eventually,
That would be
That was-
awesome.
That was our
Just some
subcommittee,
work.
that was our
Yeah, there's
subcommittee starting point, was to say, let's focus in on phase 1 or phase 2, which was a
Downtown, yes,
a condensed area, so to get some critical mass.
which
And then that fell
is the
apart, and
metro
then the metro
district.
district got brought into the discussion.
But now it's good.
It did, the metro district's gone, but we also, I mean, we didn't talk, we have the Heart Wings at Founder's Park at the starting. You walk past the mural on the trail, we've got the surfboard, the, watch your steer on the trail there. Feel like I'm missing something.
The clay totems that the workshops, we got some of those pieces still. I mean, there were tons of ideas that just.
So there's a little.
If we can get our mural festival going on in downtown, I'll be.
And then you talked about putting a piece in front of civic space, is that?
Mhm.
Well, that would be later if we decide to move
Mm.
patio hawk. Okay, so that was community park, and that was fun, and thanks to those who came out. Liza, wolf helping.
Oh, yes, we had a wolf felting workshop on Saturday. It happened. And it was fun. I had 9 out of 20 people show up,
That's what's weird, yeah.
Oh, wow.
but hey.
Uh,
Those who were there had a blast.
yeah, you got a lot of props from Sandy on Facebook. She was tickled and she publicized.
Yeah, Mandy had.
And also ranted about
Yeah.
people not attending. So
Yeah,
that-
I mean, that's the tough thing with community.
With
Free
workshops, well, you have to stay on top of them with those reminders, man, because people forget.
Well, this one we had talked about a fee to keep people honest, but then the fee system sort of only half worked, so I guess we.
Well, yeah, I didn't know what the backstory was with that.
We just,
Was it not approved or?
we just didn't implement it because of confusion, because all of other caps are free.
Oh, yeah.
Then to have one, that's not.
What was the fee gonna be?
$10.
But this.
It was more gonna be just,
Use of-
incentivize people to feel like they need to show up because they paid,
Are we doing a fee for the same class or no?
No.
Okay.
but,
Couldn't that just be phrased as like a material fee, because
yeah.
I think people would say yes right out of the gate if they registered.
I just think if you, I think if you do fees, you need to do them for all workshops.
Yeah,
Not
that's
one or
correct.
two,
Yeah,
just because it's the optics
it's
of
hard.
what
And it's hard to
community
do
center
material
offers
stuff,
versus
yeah.
what an arts advisory group offers.
Yeah. And material fees are awkward because those are typically collected by the instructor at the time of the class. So most people are used to paying material fees to the instructor directly instead of doing it when they register. It's just awkward. Maybe a reservation fee or something.
Well, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's tough because, you know,
It is
the
tough.
CAPS members doing the workshops are disconnected from the
Yes.
staff side of the organizing. So I didn't even know if reminders were sent out or how it works. I mean,
It's an automated thing.
it's an
that-
automated
It
thing.
is,
Yeah.
and what I have found out is that, you know, when people sign up for their account on Civic Rec, they can choose if they want to receive emails or,
Oh, yeah.
you know, there's all kinds of options. And then, so that, there's that part, and then the other part is with automated emails going out, they do end up in spam,
Mhm.
you know, so I'm guessing some people got them, some people didn't.
Well,
But
are you, they originally told us at one time that we would be able to log in and see the people that are signed up for our classes. Has that happened yet? Because I don't recall hearing anything else after that. Yeah, we had that lady come in here and tell us, oh yeah, you'll be able to log in and see who's registered for your classes and send them emails.
well, and that was Karen, and she's
Right.
not here anymore,
Oh.
but I can always share
Right.
rosters with you, which I've done.
Yeah, you
in the
do.
past.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I always
If
get
you
my.
want
roster
them,
from
I don't
Doug,
just send them if you don't.
Yeah,
want 'em.
yeah.
I mean, it's the no-shows that, I mean, it was full, right? They just asked people to show up.
Well, it was full and then it dropped to 17, and so then I contacted the waitlist people and put them in.
One waitlist lady came, but it's
Did
still
she?
only up to 9.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, what can you do? I mean, it's like, it's a free workshop. So,
It's tough,
That's
because I
kind
know
of
Gigi
what you
sends
get.
out reminders and then I get the list from her and I'll send out reminders. It's tough. Even on my workshops, it's hard. I usually just tell waitlist people, show up, and if I have space, you can get in. If you don't have space, you gotta leave.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
So,
Would that be something you'd be interested in, is having the email list yourself and emailing them yourself?
It does make a difference.
You mean if I do it again?
I was gonna say, just for a little perspective, I mean, we don't have to plan. for
Yeah,
anything, so.
But we need to get that planned because we need community engagements type of activities, so we need to plan those.
So it's something to think about.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely makes me a little crabby. So
It does. It's
I
hard.
would wanna change, would wanna,
I would not be opposed to doing a fee for a workshop. I mean, who
Yeah.
else teaches workshops, Sherry?
The three of you.
Yeah,
yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
you do the walk, but
But well, yeah.
I still think that should be free, but maybe like a
I mean,
$5,
just the
$10 fee or
number
something.
of
Yeah.
volunteer hours it takes to get ready for
Yes.
some of these things
Oh, I feel like
is, makes you a little bit,
I spend weeks
No, but-
kidding everything and
Yeah.
cutting glass and grinding
Yeah.
weeks.
Yeah.
Riverwalk had 50% penetrate as well.
yeah.
My workshops are always full. They're dang.
Mine were all.
Yeah.
All right.
I actually have too many.
Keep going, so we left the mural engagement on here just as a reminder that that got canceled, so that's not coming. And then we've just been talking about the state class, which is a ways away, but in November.
Yeah, we're doing 2 sessions because we always have like 30 or 40 people on a wait list, and then we maxed out at 12. We opened it up to 15, and we still have that many on the wait list. So we're doing a 2-hour session from 1 to 3, and then another 2-hour session from 3 to 5, so we could probably get like, hopefully 40 people in maybe, I don't know, we'll see.
Sounds exhausting.
It is,
Good luck.
but it's fun, it's a lot of fun,
Yeah.
and they really enjoy it, and it's just, we had a last workshop in the summer, we had a family come in, all 5 of them, and they just created beautiful art pieces. I mean, it's amazing to see. They'll bring 12, 13-year-olds in there, I think they're good.
We're all lined up with materials, equipment,
All done.
bar.
Actually, I got a bunch of companies that are willing to donate glass for next year if we wanted to do senior workshops or something. So it's free. We have enough materials for this workshop and for 2 more.
You have an image and everything you need for.
Well, she's got
Yeah, it was in the wrong.
I got her in advance.
Well, and it's funny because it's gonna be in Hello Superior, but
Yeah,
I'm like, so that it'll fill up
yeah,
very
yeah.
fast. So we good.
Okay. I just noticed, AG, that the number is super weird on this agenda. Is it just mine? 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4?
Oh, it is. Look at that. Yeah, you're right.
Oh.
So I was gonna say on to number 3, but that's,
We're gonna have to fix the number on the notes.
No,
See it?
let's notice that.
Yeah,
I did notice that 2 was a weird,
I
like
think it's the
shifted
tabbing.
margins and stuff.
Oh, how funny.
Mhm.
Oh,
Okay.
that's hilarious.
On to the new number 5. Work plan check-in. So mural planning, there's a mural in the works. Mural subcommittee got cut in half. Was one. And I don't know how you're feeling about it, like if we're trying to do more, and then we've got this, the festival concept.
I love the festival concept personally.
Who else was on the mural subcommittee?
Brandon.
I am now retired, so I have lots of time.
You
So
can
if you want
join.
help, I'll jump in.
I mean, yeah, unfortunately, he was the one with all of the connections
That's
and
true.
was doing all the legwork, talking to
Ah.
Leah. So, I just found out yesterday that he resigned, so.
But we are connected to Leah now.
Yeah, I'll just have to get the information from him.
And so I think, Susan and I had sent an email trying to get all the right people in the room, and Michaela's wanted to wait until after, your work session where you guys discuss trimming events, and so can I ask, I watched it, but what was your feeling on trimming events and making room for the mural?
So I think we got agreement, because there's a few things that got trimmed, like we're not doing the parade and a couple other activities, but I think staff's in agreement we can do mural fest in the fall, because it seems like there's enough time to get it done in the spring. The way we left that work session is staff had direction that this is what we want to do.
Okay. There was, I watched
Will
the
it
meeting.
happen in the fall?
That's the way I
All
understand.
right, let's
That's
do it.
pretty cool.
Let's do it, yeah.
Okay, good.
So that's mural planning, check.
Yeah.
And I watched the meeting and I saw a budget hesitancy from staff about, oh, you know, just getting the permissions. is gonna take a
No,
long
and
time.
that's what,
And that's what they do, right? I just wanted to scream into my phone, like, this is what.
We're taking that out of your hands.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right, and I mean, just even like the overall staffing for events, we're still trying to bring a lot in-house, so we could be outsourcing a lot of the work. And I think, you know, the Mural Fest and outsourcing the permission and all that stuff, same thing. I
And
mean,
they'll round up the food trucks, they'll do the publicity, they even do fundraising, you know, like they do it all. They
Easy
obviously.
breezy for us.
But I think their boots aren't as much on the ground, I think it's us.
They coordinate volunteers.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
I mean, there's only a handful of them, so it's not, yeah.
all right, it's exciting.
So,
Yeah.
Michaela just sent me the packet you handed to her at the dinner, and I think she and I are just gonna meet briefly, but then get a meeting together for.
Yeah.
Who's from CAPS is? Who would that be again?
Well, we only have a very small mural subcommittee. I can be involved.
Yeah, what's the size of the subcommittee limited to? 2 people?
I'm happy to be involved in it and.
And you said you would help, so I mean, I don't know, we have,
I don't have, I can just help in the background if you've got
Yeah.
other people on it. Yeah, I don't mind.
Well, let me know so that we can get a meeting.
It's gonna be a noticed meeting, so we can have as many of us as we want.
I thought it was just
No, just.
staff and a couple, and
Okay.
CAPS subcommittee.
You and I,
okay,
you, me and Liza to start with.
and what, we'll just be pitching?
No,
next
it's
steps,
just
or-
sitting down with Michaela and I, just to kind of go
And
over,
what it looks like.
just see what, you know, get a feel for the scope of it and try to get maybe a timeline put together, just kind of figure out who's doing what and what it's gonna look like and.
I forget what Leah said about the Boulder Festival, but it's like right now, I think, I wanna say it's in, so she's out of commission for the next week, but then I think she'll be good to go.
That's gonna be awesome. Yeah, that's gonna be amazing.
Okay, Superior Pairing number 5 is on here so that I would remember to let everyone know that it's canceled. Susan worked hard on it. And we had the, you know, the nightcaps brainstorm. That was
that's
pretty
right.
fun, and so she was, I think she was able to, she had the mocktail.
Oh, yeah.
And some aerial, like aerial yoga, aerial acrobatics, and they brought their own equipment with the stands and stuff, you know, so she was on the hunt of that, and it seemed really cool, but the cost was gonna be like pushing $3,000 for that compared to, you know, we gotta wait, and the ballet and the symphony was a rare thing that we should expect to, for $500 to get
Yeah.
kind of awesome, you know, I mean, that was incredible, that was a steal. But we talked about $3,000 and how many, you know, even if you get 60 people, 80 people, you know, what if you only get 30 people? And is that a good use of the town's money to spend $100 per person on this event, which would be very cool, but ultimately, I think we decided that was too rich for our blood, so. And our CAPS does have some budget to spare, it seemed like the best use of the money this time, so. I'd like to cancel that one. Moving on to the digital screens, JG gave me, a link to the, digital photos of the art collection as well as AJ Davis's materials from the mural painting, and my intention was to just make a video of the mural painting, just because I thought it'd be cool to have just the making of AJ Davis's mural, just running on a loop. The videos are not, I don't know, they're static and they're so big and wide, it just didn't lend itself, and I may get, I don't know, and you know, the pictures are just pictures of the mural, it's nothing super fun or personal really about that content. I have some of my own that I could add to it, so I'm still working on that. TLDR, it was not easy, not technically, just creatively, it was not easy to create a mural video because we just kind of really don't have the content for it. So that's where we stand, so working on it. Okay, moving on to discussion, we're gonna call number 6. So yeah, Susan's not here. JG, can you remind us on this additional fee for Board of Film?
So the night of the pairings number 4, which is, you know, Philharmonic and the Boulder Ballet, we did our normal, video work and live broadcast. So it was on government aid, it was on YouTube Live. And then, you know, we had the videographer doing his regular filming. And usually what happens is we do the YouTube Live and we keep it there. But over the course of a few weeks, Nancy and Andy will edit more and just, you know, get splash pages in there and just make it prettier. And then basically upload that to YouTube, and that replaces the live version. Anyway, that night we were told that, the Philharmonic has a policy about videos of that type, going out without, payment to the musicians. And as union members and that of the sort, so we let it run live that night and then we immediately took it down.
Didn't they sign a release when we?
I don't really know if all of that was discussed ahead of time.
Okay.
So anyway, I think, you know, Susan and I have been touching base with them on and off, because we're like, hey, we still have this video, and what was the dollar bill?
I was gonna ask you that. 500.
I think it was, yeah, it was $450 or $500 that would need to be paid to the musicians in order for us to release the video or let it be on YouTube and be in our archive and on our website.
For all of them or each musician?
It's collectively.
I mean, I wasn't there, so I don't know how many there were.
What about the
Of
ballet?
course,
Is that
there's
from
no-
that too?
they don't
I
have-
mean,
They don't have that
So yeah,
policy.
I mean, that does make sense, but I thought they signed an agreement with us. Wouldn't the agreement have covered like video and photos?
Oh, thank you, Ken.
I mean, we signed a document with them, right?
yeah.
Like I said, I think there was mention of photography and video. I don't think that,
We didn't sign anything.
I think either party didn't realize the scale and scope of it. I'm
So
not
when we
sure.
look them, we don't have like an agreement with them or anything, us to have a
I
contract?
guess without Susan here, I can't answer that question, because I didn't handle the,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
And it would have had to have been an agreement with the town. Yeah, Susan couldn't have signed anything with them, so.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
we can't make them sign waivers when they take a workshop.
found the email, so the cost is $450. Susan is annoyed is a soft word for how she feels about, you know, the bait and switch or whatever. I agree, and yet
As an artist, I get it.
$450, it's $112 per musician minimum fee.
Yeah,
Minimum
it is.
fee
Really
considering
is.
what we paid, and I think it's worth having the video out there. So my
I agree.
opinion is
Agree.
we can provide this and release that video.
I agree. Yeah. So do we need a motion?
We do.
Do. I can do it.
Okay.
So I move that CAPS pays the $450 video release fee to the musicians. For the Board of Philharmonic, so that we can release the video of pairing number 4.
Seconded.
Let's just do a roll call.
Andrew,
Yes.
Stephanie,
Yes.
Sherry,
Yes.
Liza,
Yes.
Chris.
Yep.
Ernest.
Yes.
Oh, boy, yeah, without Susan, I'm not prepared to do the neighborhood sponsorships. Sorry, Gigi.
Don't we just have to go through them and vote? I mean, they look good.
I think you should.
Yeah.
Have some discussion around them if you can.
Yeah,
Turkey fry for the firefighters.
I like that.
Right, and this is the second time, so we do not have a rule about not doing the same thing year after year, but I think we probably should, but it's not in there now.
Right.
So,
No.
And there are firefighters, so we should do whatever we
like a
can.
cooling off period, you know? But yeah, they did spin it with, doing it for the first responders. and firefighters first.
Mhm.
Yeah, so Susan iterated with these guys a couple of times to get the application right, so they're, you know, they have to do their share of the budget.
Mhm. So this should be 200. I think he just copied and pasted. He's saying that his budget is gonna cost him 210,
Mhm.
but our max is 200, so
Okay.
that number should be 200. We can't go above that.
So do we need to get that changed, or can we just approve it at 200?
Well, the website, everything says very clear that the ceiling is 200, so that's what he would get.
Yeah, I was a little off about this one the first time, but they sent some wonderful pictures. They took it down to the fire station. They did it out in the
That's cool.
cul-de-sac. It seemed like the neighborly thing, so
Yeah.
I have no objections.
Yeah.
Do we need to make a motion and vote?
Do you wanna do them separate? We don't know if the other one's gonna be approved. Do you wanna approve this one and go on to the next? Vote?
No. So
Essentially
I will
twice?
make a motion to approve Michael Hirschfeld's neighborhood sponsorship application in the amount of $200.
Seconding.
Can I see that name again? Sorry.
HIRSHFELD.
HRSCS.
SCH.
Okay.
Andrew,
Yes.
Susan, oh, Stephanie,
Yes.
Sherry,
Yes.
Liza,
Yes.
Chris.
Yep.
Artis.
Yes. So motion got approved.
Sorry, can't see it.
So she didn't fill this out completely, like there's no full name, just Ikea.
Yeah, she didn't put her last name.
Do we know what it is?
I do, it's something else. She did an exhibit here a few years ago. So she originally had picked the 15th of October. Susan got with her and she said, oops, I made a mistake. It's supposed to be the 15th of November. So I did amend that on here.
And we're getting them to sign paperwork, they have to bring receipts back and everything, right? Okay.
And we've been, you know, Susan, bless her heart, has been rejecting these things left and right. Because people are, well, I mean, what people are doing, and this is, you know, the development of this program has been interesting because our residents are nothing if not creative.
Yes.
And they're discovering this and they're like, we're already having a party and
Yeah.
it's this weekend and maybe we can get it sponsored, right? And so we're getting a lot of these, like, this thing's happening, you know, this weekend, you know, kind of thing. So we've been rejecting a bunch of them because we put a time horizon, which is 45 days, which I think is a lot, but the point of that was a little bit of time to have a meeting and then time, you know, you can guarantee that even if your application comes in tomorrow, the day after this meeting, it takes 30 days to get to the next meeting, so we can approve it, plus a handful of days to
Process it.
actually go to Target and get the gift card and do all that stuff.
Yeah, because they have to fill out paperwork. Well, and I don't issue the gift card or anything until I get said paperwork.
Right. Got it.
Yeah, so it does take a little bit of administrative time.
I mean, technically, if they turned it in a week before the meeting, right? That's enough time for us to do this, but so we've been flexible, but not with the people that are sort of clearly abusing it, so.
Would this fall under cultural stuff? Cause it doesn't fall under art, right?
It's more of the
Community.
public spaces, public engagement.
Public spaces, okay.
Yeah. She doesn't say what neighborhood. She said neighborhood engagement, but
It's got Eaton Circle though.
She's not on Eaton Circle, so I'm guessing over there.
okay.
Not a lot of details there.
Yeah,
But it's a block party.
yeah.
So this is what we ask people to do.
Yep.
So. Everyone can vote their conscience, but I will go ahead and make the motion to approve Nikita's application for $200 sponsorship.
Seconded.
Roll call vote, Andrew,
Yes.
Stephanie,
Yes.
Sherry.
Yes.
Liza,
Yes.
Chris,
Sure.
Artis.
Yes.
All right, and so now we have an hour.
Oh, nice.
So this is capture May 2020 budget planning, and, you know, we have this on here as a vote, so if we choose to do something with the spend, we can vote on it. If that happened. So this is that, you know, big remaining budget, a significant portion of which was always for acquisition and placement. Last month and a couple weeks prior to it, we sort of had that idea of everyone go out and do some research and bring it back. That did not work out very well. It's hard to, I mean, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. This being September, you know, these things take a while to implement, so we're getting there. You know, about needing to do something like, if not this month, then next month, we're gonna make it happen.
And it's still an option to purchase,
One of the
Ones.
pieces.
right?
Why don't we just do that?
Yeah, let's just do that.
Let me, let's see.
Coyote Hawk?
Or
Let me-
Silencio.
Let me share.
That's a nicer piece.
That,
Oh, I'm sorry.
that's great, I was able.
I was rolling.
Okay, so this is, you know, this is my son here standing on the corner.
Yeah,
He's what, 5'2" or something?
we're
So-
not gonna buy your son.
No, he's great, we should lock him right there and.
$5,000.
This was the spot that the ARTery subcommittee wanted to put Coyote Hawk, that we got this approved by the council back when they were the board. And we just couldn't get it done with the metro district.
Right,
That spot is still there, so I have this picture, you know, you could walk around it.
Mhm.
Chris wants to put it on a motorized rotating pedestal, I'm not sure I'm gonna go quite that far.
that would be cool.
That would be really.
That would be cool.
But, you know,
We may not have the power there.
Yeah,
Yeah, and the landscaping is terrible, all those sprinklers leak, so, you know, having staff go in there and clearing that stuff out and just setting something there and having it look nice would actually be a benefit to that whole area, so. That's one of my ideas, is just to put it back where we originally pitched it,
can we make him, how much would it cost? You know?
so.
Well,
we-
the purchase and then we could hire either the artist or a different crew
Right.
to move and install.
Once we own it, we could do whatever we wanted to.
So what is the purchase price of it?
It's gonna be in the 23, I'd have to go back and do the exact
It was
math.
originally
28,
flat?
28 and a half maybe,
Maybe,
and we paid twice now at,
so 5,000 off of,
Yeah.
So 23, would we be able to get it installed for like less than, okay,
I think so,
Yeah.
I think if we went with someone else.
yeah,
we could have Mike Clapper do it.
so what are we doing?
Seriously, he did a
Well-
really nice job. So let's-
We'd be hiring his crew essentially, but there are other crews like that.
Well, I think that's a good
specialize.
option, let's do it.
And then, you know, we would leave, I think we would leave the pad in
Right.
front of Elbow.
Yeah.
Bring his stone pad.
Maybe bring a stone or maybe not. I mean, it would just be a potential place that we could keep in mind for something bigger and
Like taller, that you wouldn't have
Or
to.
rotating
Because
pad that's
that-
under.
because that remains an anchor of the artery if we ever get back to really pressing the artery. So we could just leave it. Right now, it's more or less hidden by the junipers, but there's one way.
Eventually. Is there any issues with people crawling on Coyote Hawk?
So
No,
we
where
asked, I asked
No, not
everyone.
that,
No, where it will be,
If it
kids
goes here.
absolutely will crawl.
yeah, it's actually kind of amazing how many kids are crawling all over everything out there.
I would not worry about the art. I might worry about the children a little bit.
Yeah.
That, I'm a little worried about the art,
Cause it's pokey.
very much so,
Yeah, it's pretty sturdy. I mean, it's 1/4 inch steel. You have to work at it.
yeah.
I think you
Yeah,
worry
that'll
about the kids' heads. Okay.
Yes.
But is it a safe piece of art to have in such a,
It's a parent's problem. Yeah,
Yeah.
watch your kids,
You mean,
man.
is it potentially like a liability? Is that
No,
what it
government
means?
immunity, but it's still not the right thing to do. You don't stick a knife sticking out in the middle of the side.
Yes, I do.
There, and you
It
know,
looks like a
that,
ferry tonight.
we,
Survival of the fittest.
you know, like, part of public art policy is that exact kind of
Yeah,
thing, is
yeah.
being
Thanks.
sort of safe and responsible about the types of art and where it's placed.
It was, Lafayette, I think Stacy said they had a fox or something as one of the pieces. It was made of like chainsaw blades and like, circular saw blades and stuff or whatever.
Shreds of
Let's buy
glass.
that.
It was really cool. And, yeah, they built one of these little, like 12-inch high little picket fences around it or something,
You could just put a little sign that says, keep off,
Keep off the earth is
Yeah,
part of
right.
it.
climb on your own risk. But I mean, that rock down there is so terrifying to watch little kids on. And
But it's rubber floor.
Goes back to that.
Yeah, Chris, you said elevated, and I think we probably should, we would do the slab, but I mean. that just makes
Elevated
it-
like the heart wings, maybe, that way?
That kind of thing, like,
Yeah.
that just makes it farther to fall, I guess, but.
Well,
Or that much less likely to be called on.
That's
Yeah, no, I think it makes it more obviously,
Yeah.
and you can put a little sign right there on the footer that says,
Scale.
please do not touch.
yeah, and then they just crack their heads on the concrete footer and not on the piece.
Can't stop
That's what it is, that's it.
No,
they'll just climb higher,
Yeah,
right?
once they don't jump off the
I feel
rock.
the same as I do about the prairie dogs, right? I mean, they may get vandalized, damaged
But
somewhere,
so
but keeping them stuffed in a garage is not the right thing
No,
to be.
right.
So,
They're all, they're in the,
Yeah.
mostly in community center.
They did spend 3 years in hibernation now.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they're in that shed for, like, when the first one disappeared, the response was to take them all and just hide them.
Oh, that was pre-me, huh?
Yeah, so we hid them for 2 years.
Wow.
So they wouldn't get
I
ruined?
think mine stayed at
So when they
school,
disappeared.
Yeah.
they were both
Oh,
there,
so
mine
they
was.
Thanks for getting
Oh.
But that one got hauled up to the second.
Hot
floor.
net.
I mean, disappeared.
Yeah, and then someone recently stole a giant
got taken
chicken.
up to the second flag.
We should do something like that.
It's found.
That was a fun
Brought it
project.
down with line.
Goats.
That's
No one
awesome. That's great publicity and urban
Oh.
legend fodder.
Prairie dogs aren't
Oh,
bad.
really?
Surely they could do goats.
I guess like we danced.
Oh, I think.
That's gotta be,
Yeah, but
that
you
makes
could do
the press
city
anymore?
goats.
I
Lined
don't
up.
know that I can make that press, but,
Can we do
there were some
that?
pictures.
Yes.
I think they just.
Oh my.
Oh, no,
You got it, Rangers.
I can't say yes to your work plan, I meant your budget.
It was, I think, I don't want to overreact, because the prairie dogs have only been around for a year.
Mhm.
You know, so it's like, oh my god, this one gets sold, and the one over
That
that
would be
main one, I was
incredible
gonna throw it a couple
community
times,
project.
like its feet got pushed in.
Oh.
And someone just stole a 6-foot iron chicken.
The rooster.
Or the rooster, yeah, probably the same people.
Well, yeah, it's somewhere pretty, like.
Wasn't that in somebody's house, front of
How
their
did they
house?
find it? Oh, I don't know. Oh, yeah, I think so.
I mean, anytime I put art up as part of my house, I expect someone to steal it. It's just a given.
We'll hike it
And I
to
keep
another-
putting art out there and nobody steals it, so I'm lucky.
We have a goat in our yard and I staked it down.
Yeah.
They're
No,
not-
like the razor, an old goat.
In
Purchase-
general, how to spend the large part of the budget or maybe review.
So I think we should
The
move,
proposal on the floor, I think, is great.
let's make a motion.
Can I, do you wanna stop sharing that? Just for a
How do you
second.
feel about it, Chris?
How do I feel about?
Moving Coyote Hawk to there?
Yeah,
He's good.
It could be that, what's the balance on Silencio?
roughly the same, isn't it?
Roughly the same. And that is something, it's leased to own. And we could I'm sure that nobody's gonna, a clapper's not gonna get mad if we.
Which one did we get first? Let's do it that way. Which one did we?
More or
get
less identical.
Silencia, Coyote Hawk was fabricated for us,
Mhm.
Right,
the Silencia was existing.
it existed.
Fabricated but loan, which is a very unique situation.
Yes, let's get Coyote Hawk first to secure it. Right,
But I think what someone was suggesting was with extra funds, we could just pay down Silencio faster if we wish to own it.
true.
The only reason not to is if we think we're gonna give it up at some point.
It's grown on me personally,
I
but I drive by it every day.
I continue to like it and I continue to like it where it is, but
Yeah.
maybe we could put it where Coyote Hawk is.
Let's just get one of them now. Let's do one of them now this year while we can.
It's so pretty with those flowers.
And then lights,
So then let's buy it. Let's pay it down.
yeah, let's do something, then we look
Yeah, let's
like
do
we're
something
spending our
right
money
now.
that we've been
Yeah.
given.
Which I
Very
just a quick
important.
question, so if you did that, would you see maybe waiting until next year to move Coyote Hut? Since we're getting so close
that
to the
does-
end of the year.
Unless we find another piece next year to put in front of the civic center, something else.
Using our budget for the move is
Oh.
desirable. Neil, would we need to run by the board, the council? The move?
Yeah, I'm just trying to pull up the delegation of authority, I mean, under the, I think the way it works is everything that CAP does has to go through the board. Once we change that or not,
There was a verbal,
if it's in the budget,
there was a verbal change of the limit, and I don't recall what that was. It was pretty high.
Yeah.
I doubt it was more than 20K.
I think for ease of everything, probably just run through the board. We got 2 meetings in October, this should just fly into the consent.
So then that leaves us November and part of December, so only like a 6 or 7 week period of time to get it moved.
Or
In
at least
time
pay
to-
everything in advance and then we can.
When your fest is gonna be at the new civic center,
Winterfest is gonna be down here,
Yep.
yeah.
so it would potentially be in time to Winterfest.
If that would, like I'm saying, like we would have to wait for council approval. And after all that, that leaves me like 6 or 7 weeks
It can be broken
to
into,
line up
it can be
everything.
broken into 2 pieces. One is you build out the pedestal at the civic center. That's one scope of work, which technically the manager can approve, and the other one's to purchase a piece and literally bolt it in. And that would be one way to at least get started on building up the pad. Although Matt may not want to do anything until he's got board approval, which is fair.
Right, I guess, you know, I mean, technically I can't do anything until after council approval. Like I can't, you know, get somebody hired and contracted, that's what I'm saying, like it shrinks my time down tremendously. And then you throw Thanksgiving in there, that probably takes another week out. I'm just saying, it would be a very, very tight timeline.
So like right now, the 13th of October, the board package really light, maybe there's a budget. But there's definitely capacity if, you know, if Leslie and Matt can push it through, because it's a 2-pager. And if it's approved on the 13th night, then you've got, you know, 6 to 8 weeks,
Little more time.
10 weeks.
Is that good for you?
I mean, we can definitely try, it just.
Yeah. maybe
I
we'll
just-
try it.
It's a lot of people are out during the holidays.
I know, and I'm out,
Yeah.
and then the holidays too, I'm just being honest, I'm just wondering if.
Maybe we just purchase and plan to move it next year.
Well, again, it's about the budget. It would
Yeah.
help our plans next year to spend the 10K this year
Mm-hmm.
to move it.
Could we prepay?
Or not without council approval.
But we could, like, if we're buying stones or whatever, if we couldn't do the labor part, we could probably do some things like buying the stone or like.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could
Yeah.
partly get there, but I think we could get there.
Do you need help?
How was,
We need to hire you an assistant.
you like this idea?
That is.
Jerry, how are you feeling about that?
Oh, man.
About what?
About this idea, about, okay,
Yeah, I really like Coyote.
artists, I thought.
I love it. I think we should buy it.
And put it in a more
Yeah,
appreciative place to do it.
So we need 2 motions then, the first to buy Coyote Hawk and the second to repair.
It would be two separate, and we don't have any quotes or anything to vote on as far as moving. That's another big part of it, is getting the quotes. Cause we need at least 3. So it's a much longer process than
Yeah.
we all think.
Yeah.
if we can't move it this year, couldn't we put the rest of the money towards
Yeah.
Valencia?
Ooh, that's a good idea.
How much is Swansea?
It's in the same ballpark.
Okay.
Late 20s.
We may be able to like squeak it by, actually by both. JG and I would have to like really run the numbers, but between the discretionary,
Yeah.
We might have just enough.
we might have just enough to outright buy both, to know we could move next year with next year's budget.
Yeah, we would really look like we were getting stuff done.
Nothing at all would change.
Not anything came up like super small.
What's the board approval threshold?
So with caps, it's basically been everything. And that was more of the history of having a really big budget, but then, you know, all the other committees had like $5,000. So it was like everything needed to go to the board. And we had endless level debates about it, and then ultimately, I think we're still back to the board where everything's got to go to the board.
No matter the budget.
Yeah. I mean, I think within the 5,000, it's free to do whatever you want, but then that rebranded public art acquisition bucket needed to come through us.
Especially for public art
There
acquisition,
was, yeah,
right?
there was a statement, and I can't remember if it was last year I presented the work plan or the year before, but the mayor specifically, you know, they said, yeah, you know, this is inefficient, and directed Matt and staff to accept something, and I don't remember the number. I want to say it was 20K. We'd have to go back and,
Yeah.
but I think it's moot because this is big,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I would run it by the council.
Yeah, and I mean, I think some of the history here is what the board never wanted to be was surprised by, you know, Caps buying some ugly piece of art that, and then to get criticized for, you know, gross negligence of taxpayer dollars, like if a $10,000 piece of art showed up and no one on the board did anything about it. This one's different because you've already been, we've already approved these, we're just switching them to buy versus rent.
Right.
And that's what the memo should basically just say, we're gonna stop renting this art and now we own it.
Right.
Right, and it's, you guys have already approved the rental, and now we're just taking it into ownership.
And that was presented as a potential
Absolutely,
option when we.
So it wouldn't be new news,
yeah.
but it
Right.
would basically be like, okay, this is what we're doing
Making
with
it
the rest of the
official,
budget.
yes.
So we just need a motion then to just purchase Coyote Hawk right now, right?
So we should have a motion to purchase Coyote Hawk.
Okay.
And then I don't know what we can do.
Motion to pay down Silencia.
If you give me a minute,
Yeah.
maybe if you guys, I can pull up
How much we have?
how much we owe for both, so I don't know if it would be worth just waiting, or if you wanna pop down to your work plan, and I can. and
Yeah,
we
let's
can
do that.
Go back if you're okay with that, Mr. Chair.
Yeah.
I think it'd be good to know how much we owe.
And maybe with the board memo, where we're switching from renting versus buying, we talk about the future plan that's to move Coyote Hawk to civic space.
For 2026.
Yeah, just so, because I think everybody's unhappy with where it's at. In fact, now that we own the plaza, we can actually move it back there. I mean, this ties back to decisions the board has made, allowing us to do this.
Is the plaza, is that transition done?
It's done as the night of that board meeting, we basically took ownership of it.
Nice.
I think waiting, now that I'm thinking this through more, would also be good, because that would give parks the opportunity to reimagine the landscaping in there, since it's so
Yeah.
bad. And it could be that it still is on that ideal corner, but maybe with the help of a landscape architect or something.
Something like that, wherever, will we find someone like that? No.
But it's essentially right out your front door.
It is.
Well,
I'm
that's what
actually
we
looking
could
for
do.
it, as you guys are doing this, I'm looking for the images, because I don't know which one you're talking
Of
about.
Coyote Hawk? Yeah. I think we have that.
Probably on the phone somewhere.
So you want us to move on to
A
what?
mock-up of it?
And a picture of Coyote Hawk that.
Oh, I do somewhere.
I did also find a sculpture studio that has effectively kind of built to own kind of art that can be really nice. Can I send anybody some of these screenshots? Because each of these pieces can be built at multiple sizes, multiple scales.
Really?
To be built to, built to,
Where's it at? The studio?
I actually don't know where it's located. I can find
What's
that
the
out.
name of it?
Called Premier Sculpture. So if anybody, with a screen share,
Email to me.
yeah, it's in it too.
There's Coyote Hawk.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not quite that red.
No.
I wish it was. You
No,
thought the
that's
coyote?
a photo.
Yeah, I know.
And so it changes
From a coyote to a hawk.
from a coyote to a hawk, depending on your perspective. And that's actually not the ideal hawk, you know, the eye will line up.
Yeah.
But, so this is, do you know where the, El Dorado PK school is?
Not yet.
So,
Just go straight that way.
yeah, you go up Indiana, up the hill towards the South Pool. And we have it in a median where the intention was, as you drive by in both directions, you can watch it change from one to the other. Because of its orientation, the hill, I'm not sure, it just doesn't work. It works if you're walking, it does not work in the car. And what I end up doing is flip it back over my shoulder, you know, which is exactly what the children, exactly what we try not to do with kids
Missing
there.
the stop sign.
Right.
Yes.
Cause it is, the best angle is like 45 degrees back over your shoulder as you go by it, unfortunately. So that's why we're talking about moving it, cause it's really cool. We missed on the location.
I know I had it
Email
locked
should
up
be there soon. Your
over there, but.
email should land soon. These pieces can be built up to 8 or 9 feet tall out of stainless steel. And then priced in the 12 to 15K range, which is really cheap for stainless steel.
Art is made, not made in China, right?
I'll look right now.
Hey, I'm a little concerned.
Sorry, you guys, I'm trying to
That's all right, I'm waiting for it.
think of it smaller so you can see what Andrew's showing.
They're in Fontana, California.
Woo. Wow. Okay. And it's wrong, Sue Panda.
Amanda, manifest this as hard as I can.
And if it doesn't become true, we'll all see that express giving us false
Yeah,
fortune cookies.
mental distress.
That's,
Okay, so 28.5 minus 5, so 23.5 per. I already thought this was exactly what we thought.
all right.
Let me just,
That's cool.
I'm sneaking around.
What are these marble?
No, stainless steel.
Oh.
And that can be rose,
Painted?
huh?
Painted?
I don't know what that is, but they could also do it in like a polished rose gold, different texture, different material types.
That's cool. Oh, so this is like the render versus the in situ. Yeah. That came out, I mean, that came out just like the render, huh?
That's probably just a photoshopping out of the background is my guess.
You think this is, oh, you think this one they took it out of that
Yeah.
previous?
I think so.
What are those things?
Yeah, what else?
Those are rocks with like a polychromic surface.
I like those.
That's cool. I mean, our own Chicago bean or.
Yeah.
whatever.
I think, now I remember seeing this website, this organization, because of that piece right there.
So they're out of LA.
Wonder what their shipping is.
That's what I'm looking
I
at
think it's
now.
included.
Superior needs golf.
Next time Neil goes to check on his.
Great.
Free shipping is included in the price.
That almost looks like the Chicago beat.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I like that.
How tall is that?
They come in different sizes, but 8 to 9 feet is what I was looking at.
And you talk about a photo op.
Yeah.
That thing's cool.
That reminds me,
Really?
that reminds me of the bear down, you know, the blue bear looking in the window with the
Mhm.
facets.
I was just thinking of that. Yeah. And Dean and Horse.
Like that firewall.
Lucifer, if nothing
You
else.
know, I took care of them
He's cute.
All right, that's the
He's
end.
not bad for a Dean horse. He's awesome.
And they have 100 others.
I really like those balls. I mean, I'm serious.
You like the what?
I do, I like the balls,
Oh, okay.
like they're these big
Cheers.
spears. But I mean, how cool is that? Getting your reflection in that, very good for your photo walk.
Right in the middle of Circle Park.
Yeah.
Each sculpture is handcrafted.
This is the other one, by the way, this is Silencio. It's on Rock Creek Parkway. I don't know if you've seen it yet.
I think it's easy
Okay,
to,
so
it's easy to make if you don't know.
18
Minus
minus
five.
5.
13.
It's close. Remember when we were looking for it, we drove past it twice.
I think that's a better deal.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
We kept
Yeah.
like, where is this? It's supposed to be on Rock Creek Parkway, looking this
We
way.
were driving all over the place trying to figure out where the heck is it? What are we
We
missing?
couldn't find it.
Where on, that one I didn't find, where on Rock Creek?
See?
It's in the middle, it's in the middle of the road.
It's in the middle of the median, so you just have to keep your eyes on the median and you'll see it eventually.
It's just west of Indiana.
Okay,
It's very
Just up the
close,
hill.
it's very close to the school, signs. It's either right before or right after.
Like schools.
You wouldn't
Yeah,
notice it unless
that's how
you're
I
specifically
found it.
looking to the center of the road, if
okay,
you're walking.
Yeah,
Or if
I
there's a
like that.
placard of some kind to draw your attention to it.
okay, how did they both end up there?
Well, this is the other school.
It's,
Superior.
okay, I don't walk that one every day.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, so there it is with those
Okay.
pink things growing up. We had a bunch of lights on it, which is cool at night.
It's still doing okay.
What about some holiday lights on the rings?
We do not,
Fairy lights.
we do not augment public.
Oh, we don't?
No, we do
I
not.
learned that on
I learned that when I was working with prairie dogs. There's a fine line. You gotta be careful.
People put Christmas hats on the bronze people.
I know.
Oh,
And scarves.
yeah, but that's not right. You shouldn't.
With that technically it shouldn't. be.
But everybody loves it.
I love it.
I know,
I know.
that's why I
I
never
heard
touch
they
it.
made a
I've
Santa
had-
hat on
I've
the
not
coyote.
told you, but I've had people write saying that we need to take it down and blah, blah, blah. And
People can
I,
play that.
I always say, please don't, it's been a
I'm gonna
tradition
write
for
complaints
years. Just
there.
leave it. I don't even know who does it, but they pop up every year. I kinda like it.
I like this sculpture artist. Isn't that cool?
Wow,
That is neat.
that is cool.
Yeah, and
Okay.
she's in Colorado.
Ooh.
that would be,
How come you guys didn't bring us last time?
I don't know. I wasn't here last
She
month.
was
I was in
busy.
France, man. I got a life, you know? I got
That
a
makes
teach art.
one of us.
I traveled to
Okay,
France.
so those two pieces combined and you get 30.5, is that
So 23.5 and 13 flat.
for 13?
Oh, she's in Aurora.
So that's 36.5. To pay off both, and 38 is in the budget before we even get into the discretionary.
Okay, sorry, what was it? 36 for Silencio?
36 total, it's Coyote Hawk, payoff amount is 23.5. And Silencio is 13.
It's 13. Well, shit, we could do both, couldn't we?
So we could do it.
Yep.
Yes.
Wouldn't be able to do much in the way of moving it,
That's fine, you can save that for next year.
Mhm.
but it is certainly an easy memo to the board
Mhm.
to say we'd like to just own the ones that we're renting.
So can we motion and vote now?
So
We're done talking about it.
your annual, it was what, 36?
36.5 is what it takes, and we're at 38 without even using the discretionary.
Nice,
Seems like a no-brainer.
doesn't it? Yeah.
Mhm. And we're TCB.
And then you still have this budget though,
Mhm.
which you don't have to, again, you don't have to spend it.
Oh, I can spend it.
The town can use it elsewhere, I'm sure, but that's where it would bring you. So that would pay for any incidentals with your workshop
Oh,
or
we shouldn't have
what
it.
else? Cause the,
Potentially pay for, extra
But we can make that,
sign.
we can make the decision on one of the pieces at another meeting.
It's a good way, because if we're just buying them, there's no time crunch.
Right. Because if we found another piece that we could lease to own.
Like this. Uma. Yeah, I don't know why there's music. What did I do? Stop.
So what are you thinking, Chris? You thinking Coyote Hawk now, wait a month on Swansea?
I mean, like you said, it's September, end of September. We did those two pieces in December,
but it took a long time to get them
in-house, yeah.
Right.
installed.
Yeah,
But we made the decision on those in like 4 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
so bring more, what do we want, we don't want to wait?
The only downside would be the memo to the board would be super easy to just say, we're buying these two in one memo. Otherwise we have to do it twice, which, you know, something that will, if we decide we want to do.
But we're
Swansea.
limited on the number of meetings they have between
Yeah.
now and the end of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, we're not gonna go scout and buy new sculptures right now at this point in time. It'd be able to do it in time for the end of the year.
Right, cause then what?
It's too much, yeah, it's too late.
Good.
Chris, I would say next year, we are like full art acquisition mode
Yeah,
all year. And we can slow down, think about these new pieces and where they would go. I'm inclined to go the easy route right now and buy the two pieces we like that we have and do a simple board amendment. But what we could do is make two separate motions. And people can vote how they feel on the two different pieces. That's fine, everybody.
I think we should separate the motions anyways, just because they're two separate pieces.
Two separate, but
Yes.
two separate agreements.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do we have to wait for Neil?
Right.
We have more embarrassing, did we wait?
Okay.
Oh,
If we don't buy Coyote Hawk, would we have to get Joe's permission to move it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cause we don't own
So
it, we can,
and he could make us pay him again to move it, right?
yeah.
Oh, if we were just leasing it and trying to.
Yeah.
move it? Mm.
If we own it, we can hire,
I mean, if you're leasing a piece of art from me, yeah, I want to move it myself too, yeah. What about you, Sherry? Would you want to move it yourself? Huge statue.
Yeah, I was gonna.
All right, so let me start. I will make a motion that we purchase Coyote Hawk for the remaining balance of $23,500.
Seconded.
roll call vote, Andrew,
Yes.
Sue, Stephanie,
Yes.
Sherry.
Yes.
Liza,
Yes.
Chris,
I abstain.
Artis,
Yes.
That's an abstain. You put us in a really, we have to figure out if that's a yes or a no.
No, you can abstain. We already had quorum with five yeses,
Yeah,
so the motion passes.
yeah, that's fine how it came out, but
Yeah. I've done that, yeah, it's okay to abstain.
if it ended up. I guess it still works. It's fine. I don't know.
if you only had five and one abstain.
Exactly, then it would
Then
be
it
bad,
would-
yeah,
then it would-
and we've had that happen before. I did that one time.
Okay.
Okay, well, let me make the motion, I think, and then we'll vote on it for Silencio. I like it. I'm gonna vote yes. So I make motion that we also purchase Silencio for the outstanding balance of $13,000.
Roll call vote, Andrew,
Yes.
Stephanie,
Yes.
Sherry,
Yes.
We don't have really.
Don't let us twist your arm.
No. It's okay.
Yeah, I'll just go, yes,
Yeah.
to be clear.
Yeah, it's not my favorite piece, but yeah.
Liza,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Artis,
Yes.
That's 2025.
Done.
So that feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
For those here.
Gotta save our discretionary budget for a blowout Christmas party and that stuff.
Right?
Well, we can start working with like bringing sculptures and stuff for next year.
Oh, yeah, no,
We can
right.
bring that in
You can
anytime,
do
right?
the research.
Yeah.
And we still have to write a work plan, which we can talk about. We have 20 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or we could, not.
Adjourn.
So just as a reminder, work plans do have to be done and approved by your group by the end of the year. And if you don't meet in December and just decide to do a holiday get together, then you would need to be done for your November meeting. Unless you call a special work session or something.
So basically, we need to get these numbers. What you're
Yeah.
saying. Okay. Just say that.
Well, just
Get
giving
going,
you
Kat.
timing, yeah, because obviously you don't wanna be working during the holiday thing.
Mhm.
Unless you do and you're on hard copy, but
Yeah.
that's a work session because it's non-public,
Mhm.
so we couldn't really do that.
So this is what we sketched in. I don't even remember, when did we do this?
We did that in the
July or
water.
something.
When you're,
Yeah, because the budget process starts early, so this is what we sketched in. I Zoom.
So how would the relabeling potentially change any of this?
And we have to have community engagement events.
And we have to and we can't.
We what?
We have to and we can't, not out of this budget, and we have $5,000 in discretionary, we could.
unless you tweak
To make them sound like infrastructure, but then they're coming out of the infrastructure budget and.
But we're not gonna get grants unless we have community engagement.
But I guess where I'm getting at is maybe. Again, it's not my place to retweak your
Yeah.
program, but like maybe with neighborhood sponsorship, the block party one comes out and that second and third level ones where people are doing things and doing projects and. Things like that, or maybe you just tweak it a little bit. So that it does appropriately fall into public art, public spaces. Acquisition.
But how would it be considered community engagement for grants?
You could separate that out
Yeah.
and do the engagement components out of your programming budget.
I'm so confused.
The engagement just has to come out. She's saying, I think Gigi's saying we can keep the neighborhood grants in the capital improvement budget if we phrase it correctly, but it's not, it doesn't go to SCFD. That doesn't help us at all for them.
Yeah.
SCFD stuff has to come out of.
Right,
the-
right.
Out of the discussion.
But that takes 5K then that we could use for other things.
And then you always have my budget, like I said, just to transition and get everybody,
Right.
you know, if it behooves. The big picture of
Okay.
arts and history caps and everybody with that eventual
Okay.
eligibility application, and of course, we're gonna
Yeah.
figure out, find money for really great engagement.
Can you tell me again why we're not trying to roll our budget into yours?
I don't think we've done that. Honestly. I mean,
That seems like it would be an easy
I think
move
that
for
the 70,000.
yeah.
I think partly because, like I said before, that I think, you know, public art being some of them quite large structures, I think feel that they are capital improvement projects, long-term or permanent structure. Similar to parks, playgrounds, you know,
Yeah,
big
but it could have
projects.
been like a 50-20 split or something like that.
I think it's gonna be open for discussion next year for sure.
What did
I
they
think we
cost?
just had to do something to get it going, but I don't think that's a terrible idea at all. Just not have any, I think the split out so that there is some acquisition under CIP that maybe, but
But is the public art acquisition? The art could potentially be moved. I think it would be more like the pads would be the permanents. Not the
Look
actual
at it that way.
pieces.
technically, but you know, you think about the bronze statues, things like that, that have been there for 30, 40 years.
Yeah,
I think that's sort of the mindset. Becomes part of the landscape of the town.
but thinking about like an art walk, right, like what Lafayette does or whatever, right? They just do rotations of art on on a fixed spot. And that's, I don't know if the ARTery has ever been thought that way, but
Yeah, no, we pitched in one of these work plans, I guess it's more like a budget proposal to the council to do, Northland style, like bar on a bunch of art and the loan fees and having a big community festival or whatever, where people walked in and voted and did all the stuff and didn't make the cut from financial. But that was just one of the things.
So the parents would get community engagement, the photo walk is, right? Yeah,
So Neil, in your absence, we voted to pay off the 2 leases. That's great.
So I'll get a memo going and try to get it on them October
And now
or
we're
November.
considering 2026, just have a few minutes, but especially in the context of the new budget framing, so I'll just run down this just so in case for the record. So we had 45K for art acquisition and 10K for the installation. I think that was actually Neil's suggestion to separate the installation out because it has felt inherent, right? When you say a budget of 45K for art and installation, a lot of the council members and others don't understand that there's a significant chunk of that goes to the install. So we call them out separate. It's almost a surprisingly large number. And then we've been enjoying the media production. Ben and company, their prices almost doubled this year, so we might have to reconsider this going forward. But the commercials that they have made, the videos have been outstanding. They do well on Facebook and others.
Actually, he elevated us to a different, that original
Coming back
package.
to this, yeah.
Yeah, it's still over 3,000, but it's just.
Rainworks, I think we just dropped because we bought the supplies this year and elected to implement it next year, so that will not cost us anything. We'll do it, but it won't cost us anything. And then Susan's not here. I'm not sure how she's feeling about this. This was a lot of work and Brandon is gone. The town sent an email out about soliciting for events or, and activities and stuff, which
what email was that?
reminded.
What was that one?
the $1,000 for the digital exhibition seems low considering it potentially costs us that just to move on storage.
Say that again, Chris.
The $1,000 for the digital seems low considering it almost costs us that to move them out of storage.
Yeah, but I think, so the intention was to truly have an event, to hire people to fill the screens. I'm assuming it's free to move, you and I would do it, or we'd have it permanently somewhere, but we're actually about hiring people to make custom content or a stipend to display their photography or whatever that would be.
And I feel like assuming that there's gonna be a permanent place for those screens is an unsafe assumption.
Well, we know for sure we could do one at Civic Space, right, and one here, and then figure out, what is that, 3 more?
Yeah,
Maybe we could. I think if they're long-term programs, we have no more than this.
Sorry, where? Just getting my email here. Where were you saying, JG?
Oh, it's just, so. I think we could do one, at least one at Civic Space and one here and have the same, would you put the same thing on both? If you hired somebody to do the content,
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
and if it's public art related and it's,
but it could be an event like the AI contest, gallery was or something like that, where you actually, program them all and have a theme. Okay, I think, yeah.
we do own those digital pieces now.
Yep.
So the pairings would actually fall under the tier one grant for lectures, workshops, community meetings. That would be a community engagement for tier one.
So the town sent this out, the town of Superior needs you and your awesome talents. Do you have an idea for a new class or program?
Oh, yeah. Right, so that was
Hosting
good.
events in the community center, or civic space, they talk about, culture, theater, dance, art. Have something better,
Did we get anything?
Yeah, come on
we
there.
would be thrilled to have some conferences on
Have we
workshops,
received any
business seminars, and
submissions?
more. What's that?
Did we get any submissions?
This is not us,
No,
nobody
that,
asked me.
yeah, that
No, I
goes
mean,
through,
whoever did it, did they get submissions?
I don't know.
yes, they did.
Oh, because you sent one in?
Oh, no, they've got a couple,
It's the
there's
new
several
program.
different instructors going in there.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
have a
Kate.
feeling it's her, I bet you it's Kate.
Yeah. Yeah, so Kate's looking for more instructors, so she's already got like some already scheduled, but she's trying to get the first quarter of next year done by October 6th.
So there's that, so, you know,
Mhm.
regarding superior pairings, I don't know, maybe the town's looking to take that over.
But the problem is, if we want grants, we have to do it through CAPS, don't we?
Or arts and history,
Or
or
arts and
partnership
history,
with,
so
or
we need to
partner
have
with,
community
with the
engagements.
historic commission, you know,
Something
things like
like
that.
that, yeah. So that doesn't work for us if they do it all there, we need to do something CAPS wise.
And it could be that you identify like a broad topic of that on
Yeah.
the work plan, so that you don't have to figure out exactly
Exactly
what
what.
you're gonna do.
Just have a community engagement tab.
But I mean, like, so with the whole mural thing, I realized the community engagement piece got canceled due to the health issue. But would that be
Yes.
considered? I mean, so that's
Yeah.
just built into
Uh-huh.
public art acquisition. That's not
The
a
mural
separate
class.
workshop or something
That would be
like that.
community, something.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or
they're
you
looking-
we can
can create
check those
one,
boxes.
because y'all were talking a little bit earlier about maybe doing go fiberglass.
Oh,
goats
yeah,
like
yeah.
the prairie dogs, you
I love
know,
that
and
idea.
do it and have the community paint them instead of
Yeah,
paying artists to do it.
so they're saying for tier one, it's lectures, workshops, festivals, stuff like that. That's what they consider, what they're looking for, I guess. So yeah, the nerves, that thing we fall through.
I mean, we can't, obviously it's not gonna work now, but
The digital art contest, that would be one, another one, yeah. The pairings,
But you guys have been doing great stuff.
yeah, but we have to continue it to next year if we go for the grant, right?
well, if we're doing the.
And
murals, I mean,
again,
that's
and the
huge.
weight is not all on your shoulders, but the other part is what historic commission's doing too.
Right.
So that's basically what would be going into the application.
And they do.
And then like the
They're doing-
community exhibits that I do here,
Also qualify.
you know, that kind of
Okay.
stuff. So, yeah, it's like, it's collective.
Good.
Where did the board or council? Where did you guys land, maybe in the dinner or in discussion with the nonprofit?
It's outside of the board, I mean, it's outside of the council, there is the existing Superior Rising nonprofit, it just hasn't been like, we haven't found a new board yet, because, you know, but already there's an event that Michaela is gonna use that, you know, to allow for some alcohol sales, so, you know, it's available. You know, so if somebody wants to donate, you know, a piece of art or some money, we can plan on it going through there, and, you know, as soon as that is like, you know, ready to happen, we'll change the board, make it. So, I know it's not a clean answer, but it's basically, you know, it's like every other kid who procrastinates, because you don't need the answer right now, I haven't met, to make that answer happen, so, but it will happen.
And follow up, where do we land with financing on the mural festival? Because I think at least just verbally in the work session, the CAPS dinner, we had talked about splitting it. Is that how we're feeling?
Yeah, I think that's how.
And that's part of what I wanna meet with Michaela with before we meet as a group, but in passing, we talked about that, maintaining that, the events will pay a portion and CAPS would pay a portion.
And so is whatever that is, $10,000 or $15,000 for a mural festival, can that come out of CIP?
I think it can. I mean, it's you're acquiring public art,
Exactly, yeah, hiring food trucks. Okay,
but
I'm not gonna-
if that's paid by the dentist side of it.
Yeah,
then-
it would just be the mural side.
But then
Yeah.
that wouldn't be considered community engagement, then, would it? If you do that? Right, that's the problem.
I think that's part of what meeting will help us do, is to really make sure that what we're doing will.
So
Yeah, 'cause
that's
as we
why
move forward, you're thinking the right way, we
Yeah.
gotta make sure that the hats are on and the buckets are the correct buckets are getting
Yeah,
filled,
yeah,
yeah.
that we offer that.
That's
type of
always
program.
gonna have to be.
It's always gonna have
Yeah.
to be, we gotta figure it out, yeah.
No.
So maybe we need to add a section, community engagement, just generic section to figure it out for now. On our budget. Or work plan, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, like I've been talking to the museum, I'm like, you have to keep track of how many visitors come all the time and.
Yeah.
Everything, and they're creating like a special like mini events on the days that they're already open. They're offering open hours at the cemetery, so they're trying to
yeah.
bolster some of what they're doing too,
Right,
knowing that this is sort of.
I wonder how many they're kind of looking for when you apply. To become like, they're like, okay, we want to spend time, like, what sort of community engagement is it, why?
all right, so we're here at the end. I will put some of those ideas into a new version of this.
Drew, I have one question.
Yeah.
We decided to buy Coyote Hawk and we need to install it next year, so don't we need more in art installation if that's for new acquisition?
That's a good point, but just clicked ask Copilot. That was definitely an accident.
Hi, Andrew.
I don't know how to go with that.
Andrew, what do you want to dive into today?
That's a good point. Thank you, artist, and I will maybe adjust these numbers, but I do think that these two combined can be used in that same vein. Nobody's gonna fault us for
Just
slipping those two.
some installs are like. Almost nothing because it's literally just bolting down and it's our parks crew, whereas some of them are bigger and
so
it's sort of kind of an unknown,
Okay.
so.
No, but thanks, I made a note.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'll boost this. Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, then I would like to make a motion that we adjourn this meeting at 7:58 p.m.
Second.
All in favor?
Yay.
Good night, everyone. Thanks for having me.
Go home.
So